All right. Ooh-wee. Oh man. Jerry and Steven came out the woods. They are out of hiding. And you know when they start talking, content come with it. Oh man, I'm so happy we get to put this to bed. Ooh, I'm so happy that we get to finally put the drama of Kellen Moore versus Mike McCarthy to bed. Amazingly, people finally see that what we were saying in this community was true. The new media been telling everybody that it's been flex. Now they telling you it's flex, but when we was telling you it was flex, when I was saying it, when Jay Tuck was saying it, when Scott was saying, when we was all saying it, ain't nobody want to listen. But hey, just respect new media, cause it's a new day. And in this day, we have the rise of Mike McCarthy. And with the rise,
another one.
We get to run it up.
Run it up.
It's all because Mike McCarthy been speaking his mind, and he with the
real back. He be speaking his mind. That boy with the shit.
See, you gotta speak your mind. And sometimes when you speak your mind, good things happen. But see now, cause I already know what some of y'all been saying. Oh, Boss Cowboy Sports in the OC, their channel is negative because they focusing on Kellen Moore too much. But guess what? Now we have nothing but major positive news. Major, not minor, major. Because see, things are getting ready to get way better for the Dallas Cowboys. So let me put it like this, and we do got the OC in the building. He just ordered some food in the back. You know the OC, he got to get his grub on. Y'all know that. But see, it's a major good things going on right now. And just like we was warning about the risk of Kellen Moore, we gonna tell you about the blessing of how we set up right now with Mike McCarthy. So if you thought we was negative, now you go say, guess what? Maybe y'all way too positive. But it ain't even about being positive. You know what it's really about? It's about us seeing what's going on. So we gonna lay it down to you. We will be right back, man. Y'all just chill. We'll play this music. I'll be right back. Come on, let's go. Let the beat drop. You hear me? Let the beat drop. OC in the building. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's get it. But as y'all walk into the building today, you know, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, I don't know what you're waiting for. Hit the subscribe button and comment. Follow BossCowboySports on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And you guys can follow me, the OC100, on Twitter.
All right, so we got a thumbnail. So first thing we're going to do is talk about the new coach that's here. Because, we're going to have a lot of people that's going to click on that thumbnail with an expectation to hear about the new coach, Mike Solari. So we do have a new coach in Mike Solari. This is a guy that has, he been around the league a lot. I'm not going to fake the funk like I know about him and that I just know his whole history and his whole pedigree. Obviously, because it's broke today, most of us are going to be looking and learning more and more about him as, time goes on. Y'all give us more time. We're going to continue to break him down. But one thing that is obvious about him, OC, that we can kind of get into is that this man has extensive history. So one of my brothers that was in training camp, he actually sent me something about him, and maybe we can talk about it a little bit before we get into today's topic, which is the rise of Mike McCarthy and the benefits thereof. So my boy Quincy said, and then I'm gonna turn this over to you, OC. He said, I like the hire of Mike Solari. Now, keep in mind, before I talk about, I know Quincy personally. First of all, Quincy is a coach in Dallas. He played against me at Kimball High, right, as a rival, but he's a good friend. He played offensive line his whole life, just like you, OC, and he knows the game very well. See, Quincy, one of them names, when you start talking ball, if you know him, you go pay attention. You know what I'm saying? And I know him. So I wanted to give his background before I get into this, that this just ain't some random dude on Twitter. All right. So Quincy said, I like the hire of Mike Solari as OL coach for the Cowboys. He was the OL coach for those hardball Super Bowl teams in San Fran 90s teams, and KC Priest Holmes and Larry Johnson teams. Great get. And then he tagged all the people that he respect in the new media, which I call us new media. What's your thoughts on that, OC? And then we'll get to the content.
Yeah, man, I think that, anytime you have a guy that's been around for a really long time, and I haven't done full research on him yet, I will. I may do a video about that tomorrow. But, he has experience, he has pedigree, he has maturity, and he's been a part of successful groups. So all those things initially are good indicators that he's probably a solid hire. But I'm going to dig more into him in more detailed background and bring that to you guys on tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, man. So actually expound on it, because I know you got to do a lot more research. Let them know what kind of research you go do, just real quick.
Yeah, man. I mean, when I look at a coach, it's kind of the old adage that wisdom is justified by their children. So I'm always going to look back at the successful groups that he coached. How far did they go? What did they do in terms of the pass game, in terms of the run game? And then we break it down even further to who coached him, where he came from, where did he learn from? Because every single coach had to learn and get a foundation from somewhere. Number 3, how long has he been around? And what is the different types, and this is important, especially this year, what types of schemes and offenses have this guy ran? Has it been power, football, pro style, West Coast, unconventional? And, lastly, guys, I want to know how many prolific Pro Bowl players this guy has coached and developed.
Yeah, and somebody said, and I know what you're talking about, my boss said, Cowboys fan 95, hey boss, how you feel about being right this whole time? So he likely talking about Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore beef finally out in the open, and we've been saying it the whole time, OC. We've been saying it the whole time. I'll put it like this. Obviously, it does feel good because, when you speaking against the number one offense, that's not easy. You know what I'm saying? That's why I honestly text all the other brothers that's in the community that I know they've been putting their brands on the line to speak against Kellen Moore, because that's not an easy thing to do. So, yeah, it does feel good. It's validation to a degree, but it's also recognition to me and the community. It shows that we really do a lot of groundwork and hard work to tell the truth and unravel what's really going on behind closed doors. So yeah, I do feel good about that. But more so, I feel bad about it because it's almost like I wish our voice was greater. It's on its way, but it's not great as it's gonna be. And I wish our voice together was already sending major ripples through the Dallas Cowboy community, because then we would have caught the travesty of Kellen Moore faster. What's your thoughts on that, OC, as we get the super chat?
Man, I think this. I think that we're making progress, and that's what this says. We're making progress because, the only time people try to fool you is when they think they can fool you. But as people realize they can't fool you, they slowly come around to tell you the truth about key things. And we have a strong voice, and you guys have all proven that, and I mean the community. So at the end of the day, we're getting away from daddy ball. We're getting away from favorite son. We're getting away from, my hidden agenda within hiring a coach so I can be something I'm not, which is a coach or a GM. Be what you are. The worst thing you can do is try to be a bunch of things that you are not. And I think that's just the conundrum of the Joneses because of fantasy aspirations and also being controlling a little bit. And that was the reason that Kellen Moore really was held over, because they foresaw him as the next best ideal and thing, and that he would eventually take over the reins and be the head coach, a Jason Garrett type move. And it didn't work out. And so on we go, and let's get it popping.
Let's get it popping. So that's why we're saying now going forward, the good news is that all of y'all that was like, y'all was negative. Everything going forward is good. So now all our content is good because we see the politics is still going to be there because your leaders are political. But the more and more Mike McCarthy gets power, the more and more your chances of what you want to see go up, Cowboy Nation. So for all of you want to see a ring, the more and more you see Mike McCarthy power go up, the better those chances. So real quick, definitely wanted to start with the positives of Mike McCarthy. All right, and I want to really break down what we see getting ready to happen. So we saw some. Oh, let's take the super chat real quick. He said, "Don't need a." Hold on, let me go back to it. He said, Pale Moon said, "Don't need a coach with an aggressive old school personality. We need a wise and steady hand." I like that. He said McCarthy can be that. Media always diss him like Dak. That's true, Pale. I'm peeping it too, Pale. I'm seeing it too. They going at him. He say time for both them to lock arms and figure this offense out. Let me give you the good news. They already have. Clap it up for me. And see, we gonna show you that today. They already got it figured out. It ain't no figuring nothing out. They got it figured out. So let me show you the evidence, and we gonna get right into it. All right. So we gonna start with Mike McCarthy himself. Matter of fact, let's start with Jerry. This is gonna be so much better. Here we go. Hold on real quick. Let me get me ready. Here we go.
This is the logical step to build on it and use what we've established, or if you will, the foundation of.
You want to cut the volume, boss?
They can hear it. You can't hear it.
Not as well, but go ahead. I'll work with it.
Okay. Let me rewind it.
This is the logical step to build on it and use what we've established, or if you will, the foundation of the ones we've got. This is a time for us to build on it, and that's what this is. This is a building step.
Offensively, will you keep the same offense, or will you go back to what Mike used to run in Green Bay?
It will be, I'm sure, with added nuances of the times, but more importantly, the personnel.
Wait!
Mike McCarthy has not been unsullied. He has not been gilded. He has been given back all of the things that they tried to gild from him. They tried to unsully him. He's taken back his full masculinity now. He has now went into the front office and won a key argument and made a common sense declarative of matchups over the system.
Ooh,
thank you, Jerry, for the clarification, sir.
See, and this is the other part that's key to what he said. That's why we got to clap it up. Now listen, this is why we got to clap it up. Because he said, hold on, let me rewind this. So some of y'all might have missed it. Here we go. Listen to Jerry. This is the key part.
It will, of the times, but more important.
Hold on. Wait till he say more importantly, because what he say after more importantly is the key part. Here we go.
It will be, I'm sure, with added nuances of the times, but more importantly, the personnel.
Wait.
There it is. More importantly.
All right, hold on. Can we pause and go over that real quick? You want to start or me?
Yeah, man. And I just told you. He just is declaring that the man won the argument and that you have to utilize your personnel, right?
Yeah.
And you got to utilize your personnel in the right places. So if you talk about using your personnel, that is also an incomplete sentence to say we're using our personnel in the most favorable way and we're trying to create matchups.
Right.
And that's what he said without fully expounding on that point so far.
So hold on, we got us a super chat from Star Glazer Sports. What's up, Star Glazer? She getting ready to start a channel, I think. Let us know when you start that channel, Star. We obviously want to support you on that. You've been supporting us. She said, boss, the disrespect of Mike is very, very real. Did you hear Clarence Hill on the fan said that no one respects? Yeah, they've been doing that, and we're going to talk about that today. Mike McCarthy as a play caller, shake my head. Yeah, and that's cool. That's cool. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. It's a whole lot that's happening with the... See, I don't want to get into that too heavy, but I'm going to just kind of keep that on Cliff Notes and say it like this. I've noticed with a lot of these debates, what happened to a lot of these media people is they just as stubborn as they claim Jerry is. So, like for instance, me and the OC both admitted that originally we was wrong on the Terrence Steele versus Lyle debate. We was both wrong. What we did is we went to the film lab, and then after we came out the lab, we openly apologized because it wasn't about us. It was about what's true. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of them bet on Kellen more, which made them bet against Mike McCarthy. So instead of supporting Mike McCarthy, they go piss on him until it's real obvious. The same thing happened with Steele. All the way up into the season, they were saying, I'm afraid of right tackle. I'm afraid right tackle is my number one concern. And me and the OC was like,
not gonna be an issue.
We was literally like, bro, y'all worried about Steele? Are you serious? Oh, that's no. You just in your ego. And that happens, you know what I'm saying? So hold on, we got us another super chat from Sadiq. And Sadiq, I got your message. We gonna explain the West Coast today. We gonna explain it today. And Sadiq said with $10. OC and Boss, I love you both and truly appreciate what you two as well as Law Big and James, Skywalker Vosh, J Tuck, Rome, Keystone, Shango, Okoye, and West Coast do for the nation. Thank you. Yeah, it's truly a community effort, and I appreciate you too, Miss Charles, for being an ambassador, no doubt, to the chat world. You can we call her the ambassador to the chat? But yeah, that's likely what's going on, Star. But like I said, listen, we out for bad news. This is good news now. So we go get into the good news, because a lot of y'all thought we was a channel that was only negative. No, we was focusing on the risk, and the risk to the whole season was always Kellen Moore. So let's keep going on what Jerry said, and then we go break down the benefits of Mike McCarthy taking over, and we go break down all of it from the West Coast into everything. Now, this is another thing that I want to talk about, OC, and then get your thoughts on this. He said mainly personnel. See, this is why that's important. That's confirmation that Kellen Moore truly lost, because the whole battle with Kellen Moore and likely Stephen Jones was about trying to do more with less. And it didn't start even with Amari. That vision of trying to be cheap and weed out number ones for a system went all the way back to even Dez. We ain't gonna talk about that today. But it's the fact that now Jerry is saying we done with that. We ain't doing no more systems. We go get these dogs in here. We go get Dak some weapons, OC.
And furthermore, personnel. This is what made him really lose. Because if you talking to Stephen Jones, now one thing that Stephen Jones loves, what is it? I'm gonna tell you, he loves his draft picks. So if your system is eliminating draft capital because your system is operating in such a way that they cannot be efficient in that offense, that is going to be problematic, aka Tolbert.
Right.
Also, if you talk about personnel, you got a guy on your team that runs a 4-2.
Yep. Yep.
You have a guy on your team that runs a 4-2, and he hadn't got 5 targets on offense all year long. That is also an indicator that you are not using the personnel that you have. So this works very, very well for the future, man. It's looking good, man. It's looking good so far. Looking good.
Very good. And see, check this out. Life Crazy said, Cowboy worries me. I will believe it when I see it. I ain't mad at that. But see, this is the thing. This is the thing that everybody got to understand. Now that Kellen Moore is gone, you don't have aggressive option routes anymore. Listen, y'all, listen. Don't be scorned. Come on, y'all. Don't be the scorned fans now. Come on now. Come on. Don't be the person that's, I've been hurt so much by the Cowboys. When good news happen, I can't just receive it because I'm just scorned. No, bro. Receive the good news, bro. All right, so let's get into the benefits of Mike McCarthy, because we talked about that's made, and most people ain't even talking about this. We gonna be just as early on the good news as we was on the bad news of Kellen Moore. I'm gonna say that again. I'm gonna put the camera on me and say it. Just as we was early on the fight between Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore, and most wasn't saying a peep about it, we are going to be just as early that Mike McCarthy and Dak is getting ready to take off like a rocket. Mark my words. Mark my words, because I'm reading these tea leaves right. We got us a super chat. And before I take the super chat, I want y'all to explain something. Sometimes I know it ignored. Some of y'all get kind of irritated when we take these super chats in the midst of what we're talking about. I want y'all to try to be patient with that, because we got people that's giving financially to the channel. Everybody voice matter, but when you're giving financially to the channel, that means you're trying to emphasize your voice. So we try to accommodate that. So y'all just be patient sometime as we take these super chats in between thoughts. So my boy overflowing toxicity, as Marcus Hardison said, the West Coast offense equals Dak's resurrection. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes.
Another one.
Yes, it does. Yes. Yes. So here we go. So now we go break down the facts of the positivity of Mike McCarthy's system, and really we go ahead and tell you what it is. It's gonna likely be a lot of West Coast principles, but y'all check this out. So this is Mike McCarthy speaking of the West Coast system versus the Digi system, and then we go break down the West Coast system, because that's likely what we getting ready to go into. So y'all listen to Mike break this down, and we go just go from there. Listen.
This league for a decade. That's the challenge of the route, and that's why.
Hold on.
It's a lot. It's a good explanation, and fans watch the game and they see an interception, think, oh, it's the quarterback's fault.
Yeah.
And that's not always the case. But like, how often, do quarterback and receivers see the coverage differently, and how common is that?
That's a great question. That's a question of the year. I'd get some applause there. No, that was excellent. No, that's exactly that's the challenge of the route, and that's why. And if you go back through the history of offensive systems in the NFL, you have your two main ones, that have been in this league for decades. You had the West Coast offense versus the digit system, and the West Coast offense, you never ran option routes. You never.
So what did he say right there, OC? In the West Coast system,
you never ran option routes traditionally at the onset of it.
What systems did Mike McCarthy come from?
West Coast.
So everything that he's been taught, everything that he's ever done with quarterbacks, always had to do with decision making being 100% in the hands of the quarterback. Listen, y'all.
For decades, you had the West Coast offense versus the digit system, and the West Coast offense, you never ran option routes. You never ever took the decision making out of the quarterback's hands. Everything was dictated on the quarterback, knowing exactly where the route was going to break. The precision and timing of the route running and the quarterback's footwork were going to be better than any coverage. And then you got the digit system.
All right, so let's slow down and break that down real quick. Because listen to him one more time, and we go break that down as a benefit of likely what's getting ready to happen. And nobody talking about this, but we go talk about it. Listen.
Where the route was going to break. The precision and timing of the route running and the quarterback's footwork were going to be better than any coverage. And then you got the digit system.
Yeah. So real quick, let's explain that, OC.
Yeah, man. So one of the first things that he mentioned, he said the precision. I'm just going to break this down because there's a lot to talk about. And I'm going to give you guys a summary. I'm not going to go too granular, but if you want and you put it in the comment, I'll go granular in a separate video, okay? But he said the precision, the timing, and the footwork, right? This is a lot. It's based on timing. Most of the West Coast routes are 15 yards and under. Right, a pure version of the West Coast are intermediate routes. So it's meant to be built off a play action pass and get the football out of the hand of the quarterback pretty quick. When he talks about footwork, guys, he's talking about the customary drops that were originated really back in the day by Steve Walsh, although the origin of the West Coast did not come from Bill Walsh. He was given credit for a guy named Air Coryell, which was a coach way back in the day with the Cardinals and the Chargers. He actually started this, right? But anyway, when he talks about footwork, he's talking about a three-step drop, which is hike, 1, 2, 3, throw the ball. It's a quick pass, right?
Yep.
The 5-step drop, hike, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the ball is coming out, right? Then it's a 5-step drop with a hitch, which is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause, hitch, which can be used in play action. It can be also used on double moves to suck in defense and cause errors. So that's what he's talking about, just at a baseline, when he talks about the precision, the timing, and the footwork. The precision on the timing, the precision in terms of the route running. The route running has to be crisp because it's timing, right? That's tied to the timing. And then the footwork I just described, 3-step, 5-step, 5-step with the hitch, which is traditionally the drops that you're going to see in a West Coast offense, which a lot of teams, by the way, have taken variations of what I just said and put it into their offense, even if they don't fully run a West Coast offense.
Yeah, and see, what I love about this as a cornerback, I had to learn how to defend against a West Coast system, okay? And so we learned how to read the drops of quarterbacks. Right. So we had to read what was called the 3-step. That's what we was taught to do. So if a quarterback drop only had 3 steps, or if it was quick, we didn't even backpedal. Because we expected, we sat on it, right? Because of the drop. Because the drop we knew was timing to the receivers. I started getting interceptions like I never got before. See, I swear, I was like, ooh, if I knew about reading 3-step when I was a junior in high school, I would have had 50 interceptions. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then a 5-step drop is for intermediate routes, right? Yeah. And then a 7-step drop is for your long developing routes, your post, your 7 route, which is like going to the flag, right? You know, so post corner, that type of stuff. Long developing routes are going to have a deeper, what they call a 7-step drop. So everything is about timing, but the quarterback is the ultimate decision maker. Now, let's play this and then we go talk about why it's better. So Here
And let
we
me
go.
add to what you said real quick before
Okay.
you do it, boss. Just real quick, because this is something important and a nuance to be defenders that are smart and can read footwork, like what most DBs should do in the NFL. Now, you can run a long route off of the 5-step and a hitch because the hitch
Hold
is a
on, big
pause
dog.
and a flight.
I don't mean to cut you off. We got us a super chat. Daisy
Salute.
said, "Just want to say I appreciate you guys. I'm so excited for the up and coming season. Keep turning out great content for the community. DC4L, we got you. And this is why we're excited. This is exciting. All the Debbie Downer videos. That's over." Unless Jerry and them say something stupid. But as long as Jerry and them don't say nothing crazy, man, we finna clap it up. This is clap time. This is...
You want answers?
Then listen to the OC. Go ahead, OC. I'm sorry.
So here it is. So what you said, the 5-step is traditionally for the intermediate route. That's true. But this is the nuance where Mike McCarthy, as a play caller, can take advantage of aggressive defenses. And we really didn't have this with the option route system. All right. You can use that 5-step, which appears to be for intermediate routes, but you can give a hitch. You can give a hitch to it, and then he breaks into his second move, and you still let it go. Now you penalize people for trying to sit on routes and jump routes. So I just wanted to put that in because that's important.
All right. We got some good questions in here. See, that's why I love y'all. I love y'all. So Q Dog said, "OC, I love the OL coach we just hired. He was the OL coach of the Niners, 49ers, Chiefs, Priest Holmes." Oh, that's Quincy. Quincy, we already showed your comment, dog.
Yeah.
Quincy, we put you first. Yeah, we already showed your whole comment, bro. Like, we already talked about you. Yes, sir. And we also said, for those who don't know, if y'all don't, and because we let it, I let everybody know. I'm gonna show y'all one more time. If y'all come across this dude named Quincy Sands, pay attention. He might not be a YouTuber, but I promise you, he from my hood. He from Oak Cliff, Texas. He played ball at a high level, and he coaches on the high level right now. Me and him talked in training camp, and I swear, we had the best talks in the world about the Dallas Cowboys. So y'all pay attention to Quincy Sands. I just want to say that real quick, OC. But that was a super chat from him. Now, this is the question I want to highlight. And let's take our time on this, OC. Let's take our time on this one. Pale Moon said, "Does West Coast offense mean we score as much?"
I think this is the variable, and this will lead me. And I'm gonna take my time and answer the question. All right, I'm gonna kick my feet up and answer this question. This leads me more into explaining the premise of the West Coast offense, but for you to fully understand this, Pale Moon, and also for the audience, I gotta give like a little bit of history. And when I give the history, and Boss Cowboy go jump in a second, I ain't gonna take too long, Boss, is think about our roster. Think about what Jerry Jones said, that we played our roster and how this could potentially benefit our roster, okay? All right, so here I go. So Bill Walsh, when he developed this system, by the way, right? Originally, he worked for a dude named Paul Brown. Paul Brown was a coach like back in the 70s, late 70s, up to the mid 80s that coached for the Browns, and he later coached for the Bengals. And so he was basically, Bill Walsh was actually given the assignment to come up with the offense for a quarterback that they had who was accurate, but he didn't have a strong arm, all right? And if you look back in the day, that dude's name was Virgil Carter. All right. So what Bill Walsh came up with was a short tempo passing type offense that emphasized spacing and run after catch ability of the back, of the receiver, and of the tight end. And Virgil Carter flourished in that offense. All right. So to answer your question, I took the long way around the barn to answer this question. It could. because what you're doing is you are timing defenses to create separation and let your athletes have the maximum run after catch ability with the intermediate and short pass game at its core. But the variation of that, and I'm sorry it's a long explanation, but I got to give it to you so you can get it in context. The variation of that is when Bill Walsh went to the 49ers, well, what quarterbacks did he have? He had Joe Montana. He had Steve Young. He had Hall of Fame quarterbacks that had cannons. Those guys could whip it. Those guys could chunk the ball 70, 80 yards. So then there's an expanded version of the West Coast offense based upon what Jerry Jones said, personnel, which also is based on the capability of your quarterback. Now, Dak has a strong arm. Dak can throw the football. And Dak was actually the most accurate deep ball thrower in the NFL the last 3 to 4 years, besides, I think, Tom Brady, or maybe he was better than Tom Brady, but he was 1 or 2. So people don't understand Dak is accurate and has great touch on the deep ball. So based upon this and the defense sucking up underneath, now what you have is the opportunity to take deep shots one-on-one. Go ahead, boss. I'm kicking to you for a second.
Okay, so points and scoring the most points is not the most important thing. This is what I mean by that. And we got a Chargers fan, and I would say a wise one, that came to get intel. And he said, I come in peace. Who you think will have better stats? Kellen Moore in LA with full control of the offense, or calling plays in Dallas? So, and I see all y'all super chats. I'm gonna get to every one of them too, because we behind. We got about 4 I gotta get to. But this is the deal to answer your question. See, it took me a while to figure it out, but Kellen Moore's offense, Kingsley, is fool's gold. So what happens in it is it's a high tempo offense, and he did have full control with us for a while. But what happens in his offense is you get basically way more snaps, okay? And so if you're getting way more snaps and way more attempts, that can artificially make you seem like you have way more offense than a league. But if you break him down, let's say, for instance, if we're able to get 8 to 9 series out of him because of his high-paced offense, or let me just throwing out a number, his fast-paced offense, you're able to get 8 or 9, but in the West Coast, you're only getting 6, you're not going to score as many points. So what it really comes down to is this. Are your 6 series effective? That's what it comes down to where it's not about points. It's about, do you have a complementary style of offense for your team? And this is what you're going to find out, Kingsley, in about 8 weeks. You're going to find out that your defense is going to be dead tired from Kellen Moore fast-paced offense, and you're going to start seeing a breakdown of your defense because of the greedy nature of his offense. Just keeping it real. So where we rank is not as important as do we win. Now what's going to happen, and they setting it up right now. They setting it up to where all year they going to be doing a comparison of Mike McCarthy versus Kellen Moore. But with the understanding that one is higher pace, one is complementary. So they go make it seem like the complementary is not as good as the fast pace. But if you look at it into the bigger picture, the fast pace is not what you want, especially with a team that's built on defense. Hopefully I answered your questions. And I got some super chats I got to go to, OC. But go ahead.
Go ahead, do it, bro.
You want me to run them out real quick? All right. So let me run it. Let me catch these super chats up, and then we'll get to what you were getting ready to say. So one super chat we had came from my boy. He said, so who would be our Roger Craig? Good question.
Great question.
We're going to answer that. Let's put all of them together and answer them all at once. And then One-Handed Bandit said, with this new offense, I'm hoping we can see Simi Fioco involved. He's 6'3", good at catching 50-50 balls and has 4.3 speed. Our weapons are going to greatly increase because if you are an athlete, you're going to do well in this offense. So, and we'll get into that too, because one of the benefits of Mike McCarthy, go look at the history of receivers that was in Green Bay. Was they bums? Did he rely on one, or did he have sometimes 2 and 3, sometimes 4 dogs? So the last super chat, he said we need to use a 6th-round pick to get Cad Wilson back. They not using him in Miami. That's a good super chat, big dog. But let's answer these questions. He said Craig, and then he talked about Simi, and then you had a thought, OC.
Yeah, so I think that Simi will get a shot. This is like a resurrection of Simi Fioco's career, right? This is the lifesaver for Tober, our draft pick, right? They're going to get an opportunity. So if they show up ready to play and they can just make plays on the football and show athleticism, they're going to make this team and have a chance to really do some great things. So I agree with that. Who's our Roger Craig? I'm going to tell you, we don't know. Because it could be TP if they sign him back. But I'm going to tell you something, stay with us, because we're not going to cover all that on this show, but you're going to get a lot of draft content to suggest that we actually could be okay clearing the room.
We could.
This is a deep running back draft. So you don't need to overpay for any running back. You don't need to, per se, have to retain anybody's services. You can get 21-year-old, 20-year-old, fresh legs, 4'4", 4'3", 4'5", that can tote it, catch it, and block. And you got a lot of dudes like that in the draft. So stay tuned. We'll dig into that more. But we don't know. That's the answer to that question. And great comment on the last one. Go ahead, boss.
And Q-Dog with a super chat said, West can score a lot. This is Quincy. He said, currently 2 West Coast principal teams are in the Super Bowl.
There you go.
The key is being efficient. Right. Thank you, Quincy. Appreciate it. On offense, OC will explain. So he said he putting it on you.
Yeah, no. So at the end of the day, with the West Coast offense, this is the juxtaposed argument, right? Because people used to call the West Coast dink and dunk, right? Because you ain't throwing long passes. But is it really dink and dunk? No. To Q-Dog's point, it's efficiency. And here it is. This is what most people don't get. Low key, the West Coast offense is ball control.
Yes.
That's what it is. Low key, the West Coast offense is ball control. You determine when you go take shots based on matchups, because what happens is if you get a lot of yards after catch, what invariably happens is that you draw safeties up. It's just human nature. You draw safeties up, so they're playing tighter and harder trying to make tackles, which will give you your isolations in the slot and outside. And this is where, if you think back to old highlights with Joe Montana and Steve Young, these are the routes where you saw Johnny Taylor, and in particular, Jerry Rice be one-on-one. Like, why is he one-on-one down the field with this dude one-on-one? They know he the greatest all time. Well, it's because of the fact that you're trying to cover and tackle and stop the yards after catch. And this is how the Philadelphia Eagles broke the back of the San Fran 49ers with play action, with the RPO, and some West Coast offenses, and making some key passes when they needed to. Go ahead.
And my boy Quincy say, I love OC. See, I know Quincy. See, Quincy played offensive line, and he an offensive guy. You know what I mean? Yep. So, offensive guys, I know y'all love each other because y'all speak each other languages. Y'all real in depth with the knowledge of different systems. I'm telling y'all keep up with Q-Dog. Q-Dog no ball, bro. Trust me on that. Like, every time we talk, I get plenty out of it. So, and my boy, his last super chat, Weibo said Wilson. Yeah, I'll be all the way for a return of said Wilson. But this is the key comment, and I would be all the way with that. This goes back to what Jerry said. Dre Matic. He said Green Bay had Greg Jennings, Donald Driver, and James Jones when they won the Super Bowl. You forgot White Lightning. Yeah. Jordy Nelson was on that squad too. He had 4 dogs.
Animals.
Yeah. Yeah.
unstoppable.
No, Mike McCarthy, he not like Kellen Moore. See, Kellen Moore was, we can do more with less, boss. Boss, you want less? My system can do it. We don't need Amari. We don't need no.
1 second, boss.
No. See, that's why we telling you, man, this is finna get good. See, a lot of y'all used to think, oh, the Boss Cowboy Sports, this channel negative. Man, boy, y'all get ready. We might have a parade next year. Trey Fargo say we should be better in top in the West Coast. No doubt. See, now listen, remember what he talked about? Them 4 dog receivers. Oh, hold on. My boy F with the super chat say, West Coast with nuance will flourish. Listen to Jerry.
It will be, I'm sure, with added nuances of the times, but more importantly, the personnel.
Wait, is that what F just said? F, did you just say nuance?
Of the times, but more importantly, the personnel. It will be, I'm sure, with added nuances of the.
F, boy, y'all clap it up for F. Clap it up. Clap it. Come on now. Clap for F, damn it. Clap. This boy is in his bag. Listen, what F just say? West Coast with nuance will flourish. Listen to Jerry.
It will be, I'm sure, with added nuances of the times, but more importantly, the personnel.
But you see Jerry smile right there? You think he playing? They are done with Kellen Moore's system. All that, we don't need Amari. Nah. They finna weapon up. Mark my words, we getting ready to have some fun. What's your thoughts, OC?
Man, look, at the end of the day, man,
Woo.
he
Woo.
has proved the point. And it took 2 years to do. But Mike McCarthy has slowly proven the point that, man, personnel wins. Personnel wins. You got to be deep. And I said this when we lost versus, San Francisco. You got to have more weapons. You got to have as many weapons as you can. You can't be a championship team and have enough weapons. We won a Super Bowl. We had too many weapons. Who says that? Nobody. Nobody ever said that. So I'm telling you, it's going to get real ugly in the NFC. And to the people that want offense, based on matchups, though, not based on option routes, not based on gimmicks, based on real matchups and taking advantage of opportunities, you may get exactly what you want, an extremely high-scoring offense. Mark my words.
Mark the OC's word. Listen, y'all, I'm telling you, all them days of, oh, Boss Cowboy, your show is negative. No. Listen, y'all, this is the next benefit we gonna talk about. Ooh-wee. Dak getting ready to go crazy.
Another one. Bringing real back. He be speaking his mind. That boy with the shit.
Run it up.
See, listen, y'all, all the people that, Dak ain't got no more excuses. He don't need them, dog.
Everybody around me shooters. Ain't no telling who was shooting.
Ooh, this boy finna be shooting.
Everybody around me shooters. Ain't no telling who was shooting.
My boy Ali say I'm buying, boss. Me too. And this ain't even Kool-Aid. You know how some people be selling optimism? This ain't that. This is just common sense. So for everybody
Go ahead, boss.
No, you said something.
Because listen, this is important. You want to know more about the West Coast? I'm gonna give you one more thought, and then I'm gonna punt it right back to Boss Cowboy. The West Coast offense is based on creating mismatches. That's another key thing that you got to know about the West Coast offense. The premise of it is to create mismatches and coverage mistakes. That's the premise of it. Why do you think that A.J. Brown is running open over the middle of the field? Why do you think that Devontae Brown, the other wide receiver for the Eagles, why do you think he's coincidentally always seems to get one-on-one coverage? That's by scheme and design.
Yep. Mike McCarthy finna act a fool. And see, listen, y'all, this is how we know. Because see, Mike McCarthy already been lobbying for this, but Kellen Moore and Stephen Jones was in his way. Do y'all remember last year they was saying we need to know what Mike McCarthy does? Do y'all remember that? So when they were saying that, Mike McCarthy finally let out what he felt the changes was going to be going into 2022. And I got the proof. Listen, this show is about receipts, okay? So check this out. I'm going to show y'all the receipts, big dog. So this happened last year. So remember, Jerry Jones came out. This was March 27th of 2022. Hold on, we got a super chat real quick from my boy Amp. My boy Amp said, he said, maybe now we might actually attack team's weakness. Amp, that's actually exactly what we're going to do. That's exactly what we're going to do, dog. So check this out. And I'm leading up to that right now. Okay? So Jerry Jones talked about CeeDee Lamb as an upgrade of Amari as the number one. Remember, he said that around March 27 last year. So the A part is not the big part. The B part is what, and Coach Marv sent me this article, and this was a signal last year that me and Coach Marv peeped that Mike McCarthy was greatly fighting for his system. Because this is the first time we ever heard matchup mentioned at all with Kellen Moore. And he said this, as the Star Telegram describes it, Lamb will play the Jerry Rice role as the flanker in the head coach Mike McCarthy West Coast.
Very interesting.
See, we already told y'all that they already know what they gonna do. But see, you gotta come to Boss Cowboy Sports so we can tell you that they already told you what they getting ready to do. See, most people, and I'm just being honest, most people not honestly organized like us over here. You know what I'm saying? To where we can go pull up an article from March and show how it fully relates to what we getting ready to do now. So check this out. This is what Mike McCarthy said. He said this is a great opportunity for him personally, Mike McCarthy said, talking about CeeDee Lamb. He said, I think just the way we've established the offense, particularly in the passing game, the ability for those to play different positions to create matchups. Oh, see, here we go. We got these smart people in the building, OC. We got Dwayne Moore, all the football people, they showing up. The football people are coming in the house. All the Q Dogs, the Dwayne Morrises. We waiting on Coach Moore. Where you at, Coach Moore? Where you at? But Dwayne Morris said, OC, most people don't realize that Roger Craig led the 49ers in receiving even with Rice on the team. And I'm going to tell you something else. Go ahead, OC.
No, and that's because with the West Coast offense, this is your education. Go ahead and share this with your friends and family if they want to learn about the West Coast offense. Because remember the story I told you? It was all relevant to what happened on how the West Coast is run. Remember I told you that Bill Parcells was given the charge to make an offense that they could use Virgil in, that Browns quarterback back in the day who was accurate, but he had a super weak arm. Well, to make it work, they emphasized throwing the ball to the running back and the tight end. And that is the original nature of the West Coast. And that's why Roger Craig still led San Fran in reception. That is why. Go ahead.
Coach Marv,
just go ahead.
Coach Marv, I wouldn't rush you, dog. You got some more. Keep going.
No. I'm saying it is efficient with ball control and check down offense. And What did Boss Cowboy Sports say to you all year long? Now, we got a lot of new subs, and we appreciate you. But if you've been following this channel during the season, what did we say we wanted Kellen Moore to do? More throws to the running back. Check down the ball. Now, we got some of that at the end of the year with Tony Pollard in particular and some with Ezekiel Elliott, and it was very effective because you have linebackers running crazy. You can't cover deep thirds and cover backs out of the backfield effectively. One time out of 6 or 7, that back is going to break a big play.
Oh, real quick, my boy Ali say drop the link in the description. I'm dropping a link to that article right now. So I just dropped the link in the description so y'all can actually have it as a rep. I can't, because it's 361. I can't. I'm sorry, y'all. I would have to show in that link. I tried to drop the link. I'm sorry, y'all. I'll put it in the description though. So I'll put that link in the description. So you, after the show, just go, to the description and you'll be able to pull up that article that we talking about where Mike McCarthy was explaining that we getting ready to go to a matchup system. Now, Coach Marv is in the building. I knew he was in the building, man. Appreciate you, Coach Marv. He said this offense would let our wide receivers be creative and not robots. Exactly. So
And notice furthermore, to give you guys some more game on this, notice that CeeDee Lamb is the flanker. So he's going to draw most of the one-on-ones. That's what that means.
Right.
If you understand flanker, he's going to draw most of the one-on-ones,
Slot.
and the rest of the receivers are going to run routes that are interchangeable. Notice the term interchangeable. Interchangeable means that at any point, any one of these receivers could run this route. You don't know who's going to run the route. And that's what made the West Coast unstoppable. And that's what makes it super hard to defend even today, unless you got just a super secondary and a great pass rush.
Irene, exactly. It's exactly what you just said. She said, so you saying that with Mike McCarthy, the offense is going to go to playmakers versus Kellen Moore's system where no one gets to shine? Yeah, that's exactly what we're saying. And then sadly, we can show you that that's what he says. Let me see if I got it right here. Yeah, here we go. I got y'all, man. I'm always ready. Here we go.
Always have to be careful of trying to narrow the focus for the quarterback into one particular guy. We feel fortunate to have other guys. Hey, they all want the ball.
Ain't that some bullshit? And he was talking about Amari right there. Hey, we got to be careful not to force it to one particular guy. My boy, you right on that, bro. We got 330 some people in here. We only got 160 likes. Let's take a like break, bro, because we got a lot more good news to give y'all. And this is not Kool-Aid, bro. This is not fake. This is not capping. This is not about Dak. This is none of that. We talking about what's likely, really, truly getting ready to happen. Let's take a light break, bro. Yeah, man, we got too many people in the building lurking. Don't be a lurker. Don't be a lurker, dog. Don't be that
a
dude.
creeper.
Don't be a creep, dog. Don't be in here just watching everything we doing.
And then go make a show about it later. I know what you're going to do. Make a show about it later. It's okay.
That's okay.
We got you, bro.
We don't mind.
We got you.
As long as you telling the truth, you can steal content. I'm cool with that. I really am too. I'd have, as long as you say it was true, take everything we said. I have no problems with that. But make sure, for real though, and I do know, and I get it because this happens all the time. I guarantee you, I didn't even hit the like on my own channel yet. Let me see if I did. Watch this. Oh, I actually did. So I actually hit the like on my channel. Stop. Take a second, because y'all know y'all getting gold right now. Y'all know that. Come on now. Y'all know we've been hitting home runs in here. We've been telling y'all this whole time what was happening. Because who else? Listen, bro. We got the evidence. We got the evidence. We got receipts. We got receipt upon receipt. Now, everybody now saying there's beef. There's beef between, there was beef between Kellen and Mike McCarthy. We was telling y'all that last year, dog. Literally. In the year 2022, we was telling y'all that. People, y'all conspiracy. Oh, they got the #1 offense, boss. They got the number one offense, boss. Okay. Okay, sure. Yeah, this dude got up and said for nothing, for no idea, just for no reason, I'm not a fan of this. And they was like, oh, there's nothing wrong. And listen, y'all, okay. Let me say this and we go back to the good news. Because a lot of people don't think that we was really warning about this a long time ago. Bro, we did a show where we showed that Mike McCarthy was speaking on Cooper targets. And people like we go just show a little clip. Here we go. Listen.
But it's our jobs as coaches and players understand what goes on inside the numbers. You know, whether it's the read of the quarterback, is the ball going to the number one receiver enough? Is why do we have to, are we checking it down every single time? So I mean, those are the things that, it's not just the decision, but what went into the decision. Sorry for such a long answer. Clarence he's chomping at the bit over there. Yeah, you're up next.
Listen.
And I don't want to bog down on numbers and statistics, but Amari Cooper's numbers, his catches and yards, targets have dropped dramatically ever since he's come back from the COVID situation. I don't know if it's because of, obviously the entire offense has not been what it was early in the season. But you talked about getting targets to your number one receivers. And I know in the past you said, you don't really want to focus on one guy, but why would it, considering his value, why would you not want to get him and make a point to get him more involved?
Well, I think we're talking blatant statements here, as far as numbers. Don't want to focus on getting it to one guy, because once again, this is a full year, 17-game approach that when you design an offense and how you attack a defense, you don't want to come out and just be heavy to the Z receiver all the time. I mean, 17 games is a lot of football. So how you tilt each and every week, how the defense is tilted towards you, factors in that too, as we know. So you have to have the ability to spread the ball around to the 5 potential receivers, or you're going to be short. I mean, the numbers reflect that, history reflects that, and obviously quarterback production. Because at the end of the day, the quarterback has the ball every play. The quarterback touches the ball every play. So you have to make him successful. And, obviously the starting point of that is the run game. We run the football not only for the quarterback, we run the football for our whole team.
Hold on, OC. This was last year.
Yeah.
This was last year after the Arizona game. Did we run the ball last year, dog?
Not a lot.
But let me keep going.
Whole team benefits from running the football. So then that comes to the passing game. So, and don't misunderstand what I'm saying. Amari Cooper is very, very important to our success as an offense. There's no question about that. But, there's a big picture approach. So the numbers, he missed a couple games. There's other factors that go into it. And that's why, once again, the numbers aren't probably exactly what we'd like them to be, but they're not far from being what they could be. So I think the truth is somewhere in between there, and that's why you just continue to work. At the end of the day, we got a great opportunity here to go undefeated in our division, get to 12 wins, and then from that we're going to close that door in the regular season, and we're going to take everything into the playoff contest. And that's so what does that mean as far as more targets for Amari? I hope so.
Oh my God,
I hope so.
People thought he was joking. That means
I hope so.
Last year he had no control.
I hope so.
I hope so. How do you say when you the head coach, I hope so? I hope we get the ball. Now, this is my favorite part. Coach Marv with the super chat. He said the offense creates a better run game as well. Absolutely. But see, this is the worst part about this. And people thought we was making this up. People thought that it really was no divide between them, but we was seeing it then, and we was calling it out then. Now check this out. Now this is my favorite part, which shows the mind of Mike McCarthy offensively. Look at him talk about the benefits of targeting Amari. Listen.
But there's more factors into that. I mean, I get excited every time the ball goes to Amari. I love it when the crowd goes, you hear Coop.
Bro!
In the stands. It's I think it tells you the impact it has not only for offense but for our team and for the crowd and all that. So I mean,
God, dog. And see, Kellen Moore never knew that. And if he knew that, the sad thing is he likely also knew that, but he was such a yes man to Stephen Jones that he wasn't like Mike McCarthy, who was going to just tell them the truth against that system or the no identity offense. Yeah.
Facts.
That's facts, y'all. That's facts. So people trying to act like this divide between them just started. Nah. No. All right, let's get back into the positive though. That's drama. We gonna get back into the positives. All right. Let's get back into the major things that's getting ready to go on. So first, we talked about more athletic receivers, which is likely getting ready to happen. Another thing that's likely getting ready to happen is we go also see more athletic tight ends. See, because I did a breakdown of Mike McCarthy's tight ends as he was becoming our head coach. We never saw those types, the Jamarcus Finley types. What was the other tight end that came from Seattle?
I know who you're talking about.
Y'all know I'm talking about.
I'm losing his name now.
Yeah.
I just lost his name.
Me too, but he was called. He was a receiving tight end. If you go look at the type of tight ends, Mike McCarthy goes after tight ends that can stretch the field.
He goes after tight ends that are like basketball forwards. These dudes are big and strong enough to block in line, but at the same time, they can sprint down the field and easily run past a linebacker. These guys are mismatch nightmares, and you cannot double cover these guys and double cover wide receivers, which invariably somebody's going to be one-on-one. And most of the time, that one-on-one matchup, if you're on defense, you're supposed to get cooked. That's what that means.
Yeah, and so we already talked about this, so we ain't gonna hammer this too much. But matchup football, that's what's getting ready to get emphasized. And then I was actually reading that article. Let me go back to it because that brings me back to this article. So matchup football. So remember, this is what Mike McCarthy was lobbying for last year. He said this is a great opportunity for him personally. Mike McCarthy said, I think just the way we've established the offense, particularly in the passing game, the ability for those guys to play different positions, to create matchups and make it harder on the defense to double you and those types of things. What hurt us against San Fran? Who did they double? Was you paying attention? I know you was, OC, but was y'all paying attention? What gave us trouble? They doubled CD Lamb, and they wasn't worried about nobody else. Yep. But see, under Mike McCarthy ain't in this thing with no system philosophy. So check this out. He said to create matchups and make it hard on the defense to W and those types of things. My point is playing in the slot a lot last year and now playing the flanker position. And we understand his rise in year 3 that he's going to do a lot more attention from the defense. But he's doing all the little things that are needed to get him ready to be the number 1 guy. So this is the thing, OC. When he wrote this, I got a little bit too excited. Okay. So I'm gonna be all the way real. Yeah, somebody said like Rico. Yeah, something like Rico. Like it's gonna be something like Rico. Yeah.
But faster.
Yeah,
faster.
He like them Jamarcus Finley types, bro. He like them dog tight ends.
6'6", 260, runner 4.5. Those type of
he like them free tight ends, you know. And Will McClagle.
Those type of dudes.
And this draft class got some of them, y'all. And see, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm also telling y'all this. Schultz got to be gone. Schultz is gone. He should be gone. Schultz was perfect for Kellen Moore because of the option routes. But without option routes, you don't need.
He's too slow.
Yeah, he's too slow.
And he's not strong enough to block in line.
Right.
So you got to sub him, and you can't run tempo offense.
Right. He don't fit. He don't fit.
You got to sub him.
Yep. Hey, we
Because
keeping
if
it
you got to
real,
block
y'all.
him against a big tight end, if you got to block him against a big defensive end, man, he gonna get cooked. And the thing too, going back to CD Lamb, which is so exciting, and I hope this didn't go over people's head. Flanker, but here's the deal: they moving around CD Lamb. CD Lamb is gonna play every wide receiver position, slot Y, X, Z.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't target him. So if you want to roll coverage, Mike McCarthy is crafty enough. Watch this: CD Lamb is gonna get moved around.
Yep.
That's low key what you don't understand. So it's gonna even be impossible to double him. If you want to double him, it's gonna be difficult. And if you're trying to double him initially or post snap, man, you go get bitten and eaten to pieces. I'm gonna tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, don't even talk about the impact of Will McClay with what.
Oh yeah.
When you this all I gotta say, bro. Y'all hear me out. When Mike McCarthy go to Will McClay and say, "Hey, Will McClay, I need these type of guys." Will McClay go look at him and shake his head and say, "Man, I got you, man. This easy work, dog." Ooh. And Will McClay is getting ready to stock Mike McCarthy like he stocked Dan Quinn. Y'all get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Because everybody was, oh, boy. Oh, somebody asked, what about Ferguson and Hendershot? Well, we go use them. Mike McCarthy go use them. That don't mean he go get rid of them. They not just exactly his type, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he go use them, and they good enough. They go, Mike McCarthy is a real offensive mind. He is not like Kellen Moore, who tried to make everybody fit his system. Nah. That Mike McCarthy can adapt. He gonna adapt to the players he got. So another thing. In the West Coast, can you talk about this real quick? The throwing to the running backs as a West Coast philosophy?
Yeah, man. And so I hit on it earlier when you talked about Roger Craig, and Q-Dog put that in there about Roger Craig leading San Francisco in receptions. Well, when you throw to the running back, what you're doing is you're pulling a linebacker, in particular, if it's a middle linebacker based on the defense, you're pulling him out of the middle of the field. You're making him always account for the flat. And when you make him account for the flat, it does a couple things. A, it really makes play action pass much more successful. B, it opens up the backside slant routes, which, by the way, the West Coast offense is predicated on quick tempo throws, in particular, wheel routes, up routes, out of the backfield, and quick slant routes. The other thing you do is what you saw San Francisco do versus us, is you motion and shift, because those are the West Coast principles you saw in particular a lot that San Fran did against us. You use motions and you use shifts. You use motions and shifts, and because you're trying to get numbers to one side of the field, number one, that's the reason for the shift. Number two, if you're motioning, you're using that to identify coverage. You're trying to understand if this is man or zone, which can dictate where the ball is going in quick reads, not slow, hesitant reads. So those are some of the benefits, and I can keep going, but I'll stop right there, of throwing to that running back in this West Coast offense.
Ooh, Coach Marv. See, Coach Marv, man. Coach Marv be coming in here in his bag. See, listen, there it is. Hold on. Here Coach Marv right here. He said, boss, that's why Mike McCarthy wanted the tight end from UVA last draft. You remember that dude, Woods?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, he got a tight. He got a tight. I ain't got no tight. Hey, real quick, I'm noticing how y'all doing me in the OC. I see how y'all doing. I just so happen to click. We got 351 people watching, only 193 likes. What we do to y'all? Do we really have that many people just lurking in here determined not to hit that like button? Did we make that many enemies talking about Kellen Moore? Did we make that many enemies? Come on, y'all. That's it. Come on, man. We can't have that many lurkers, dog. That's weird. Don't be the weirdo. You know you in here getting the content. You know you liking what you hearing. Don't be that tight. Hit the like, big dog. Y'all tripping. I just already asked y'all to hit the like, and y'all barely hit it. What did the OC do? OC, what you do, dog? What you do?
I don't know what I did. I guess I need to keep making videos. Make some more videos, I guess.
Man, get to work, dog. You need to work more because these boys don't like us. Or maybe they don't like me. Maybe they mad. Maybe they those journalists that's over there pandering for Kellen Moore. I don't know. Somebody lurking and they refuse to hit the like. I put it like this. I ain't gonna even call you out because you making me some money while you watching. It's cool. You making OC some money. It's all good. Y'all just watch. If you just ain't gonna hit that like, we done asked you twice. You don't want to like it. I'm cool. Don't like us. It's cool. We got enough people liking us right now. It's cool. All right. So now, OC, and I'm gonna ask y'all chat. Keeping it real. Let me play the rest of Jerry. We'll finish out with the West Coast. And I'm gonna see if y'all want to get into the rest of this, but listen.
But it will be, in principle, the way he operated in Green Bay, which I'm sure he'll tell you evolved.
Right. A little bit more West.
And then he asked a little bit more West Coast. Bro, OC, we seeing this right. Just like we saw right and we saw clear Kellen Moore. Now, let me ask y'all a question because it did get a little bit messy. Do y'all want to deal with that? Because, I'm ready to cover the juice. If y'all want to talk about the juice and the fabrications that happened today, we can talk about that. If y'all want to just stop with the good news, we can cut the show right now. But it did get a little bit messy, man. Let me play a little bit of it.
Jibe, if you will, with what he wants out of the offense. And so, he wants to, just like you would a quarterback, unlike you would any coach, you want them to thrive and bring what they bring to the table. I just think Mike wanted Kellen to roll, but he didn't totally 100%. Agree with all the philosophies and, the small things that go into, and I think it.
Kellen didn't agree?
He wanted Kellen's role. See, let me tell y'all the truth. If you want us to get into this, because we can stop and do other stuff.
Yeah.
Put truth in the chat. Do you want the truth? Put truth in the chat. And I'm gonna give you a minute. Let Boss Cowboy look at the number of truth. Put truth in the chat. If you really want to know the truth.
No, we gotta tell them the other truth too, bro. We gotta hold on. Listen, y'all. If y'all want the truth, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, this gonna go a whole nother hour or more. Cause I'm ready to break this down, bro. I'm just letting y'all know I'm gonna break down all the fabrications. I got all the receipts on this stuff. So should we cut the stream now and come back? Cause I want to know. Y'all decide. Now they saying they want truth. I don't know what you asking for, cause this gonna get detailed. But all right, y'all want the truth. All right, here we go.
Ultimately came down to, hey, if we're going to take the next step, he wants to see if he can put his, if you will, make the changes that he thinks will make a difference that he didn't necessarily think Kellen might have believed in. And that's, that's common. I mean, we had that with Jason and Scott Linehan and Mark Colombo and Callahan and on down the line. And I also think that Mike thinks he can meld the passing game to the running game, with who he's going to hire for the offensive line, Lunda and the tight ends, and ultimately the running backs and the running back coach. He wants to bring all that together, and I think it's outstanding, and I think it's got a great chance for us to take the next step.
Jerry made it sound like it's not just your.
It's like let me listen at Jerry too. Because now we go get into this gossip. Because y'all want the gossip, we go give it to you. Here we go.
You could say that we probably had too much reliance on what Tolbert could do. Because we were high on him coming out and thought.
So he talking about why we didn't keep Amari. So he's saying it was Tolbert.
He could immediately be a factor. We had... thought that possibly we could have better results relative to Gallup as far as his rehab and where he is, so I could.
He really low-key telling the truth right there. Because what he really saying is, he said we felt like we could have better results with Gallup and Tolbert. But he really leaving off some key facts. He leaving off the fact that they thought that Kellen Moore's system was going to allow them to do more with less. See, that's lying by omission.
Right.
Can you explain that, OC, real quick?
Yeah, man. I mean, at the end of the day, man, he cut Amari Cooper because I don't want to jump ahead, but he thought that system was superior to talent.
Right.
And Mike McCarthy and the firing of Kellen Moore is the ultimate admission that you were wrong.
Right.
But I can just fire people instead of just saying I was wrong.
Right.
And because Tolbert didn't play, and I said earlier, that's one of the reasons, had to be a variable in understanding, okay, man, we got to do something different to get talent on the field, because this dude could catch, this dude can run routes, this dude was beating people one-on-one in training camp, but this guy's not on the field. We can't even get him on the field. We can't get Turpin on the field. Like, no, and there's no way in your right mind, and some of this stuff is posturing, in my opinion. Because there's no way in your right mind that you think that Tolbert's going to come in and ever replace a guy of a caliber of a CeeDee Lamb, and of an Amari Cooper in his first year. No possible way. And he goes on to say the most egregious statement that we wouldn't been able to do everything that we did if we kept Amari because we was paying him $20 million.
Yep.
That's the most egregious statement. Go ahead, boss.
That's the most egregious, and I'm not rushing you. That's the most egregious because I showed y'all yesterday what Stephen Jones said yesterday. I showed y'all, quoted him, his words coming out of his lips. He literally said, we could not have played Gallup if we would have signed Amari. Which is saying, go ahead, OC.
No, go ahead, boss. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you good. You good. Because I know you was going to finish my thought. It's good. Go.
No, just a bunch of bull nonsense. That's a nice way I can say it. Bull nonsense. You could have moved money around and still got the Gallup deal done. You wanted to save money by going to more of a committee system and sign a guy who had a torn ACL at the end of the year, betting on the fact, knowing the fact that you're going to rush this dude back, and thinking that Tolbert was going to be an easy plug and play because you were sold that by Kellen Moore, and it turned out to be a lie.
Yep.
That's what the truth is.
That's what the truth is. That's the whole truth on that. And Coach Marv said, but I do feel that Ferguson and Hinder are the athletic blocking tight ends we need. Schultz was just a Kellen guy. I think it was just a little bit more than Schultz being a Kellen guy. I think Schultz fit the option routes. Like he really did do a good job of reading the defense and being where he's supposed to be. And in a system to where it was about your cerebral ability and your ability to read defenses, he fit. Here's the evidence.
He's a viable option because he's always in the right spot. He's doing the right things. The offense doesn't center around anybody.
So that was in training camp. And see, this is how I knew we was getting ready to abandon what Mike McCarthy talked about when he was talking about matchups. This is when I began to get the clue. You know what I'm saying? Because at first when I saw that article that Coach Marv sent me, I came back and I ate it too fast, OC. And I said too early, the offense will rebound in 2022 for the Dallas Cowboys. See, I thought that was going to happen because I was seeing matchup doctrine from the head coach and West Coast principles. But then when training camp started, you started to hear the opposite. You started to hear that no identity offense philosophy stuff again. Here's the example in training camp, and I knew then they was riding with Kellen Moore. Here, listen.
He's a viable option because he's always in the right spot. He's doing the right things. The offense doesn't center around anybody. Dak goes to the open guy. And
see, and that's opposite of what Mike McCarthy was saying. But he was also talking about Schultz right there, and that's why Schultz was a good fit for Kellen Moore. And then you listen to Kellen Moore in training camp. Listen.
Kellen, Jory Epson with USA Today. Last year you talked a lot about pick your poison. We have all these receivers. Do you expect Tedy to be a featured receiver in a way that none of your guys were last year because of the options you have? And what would that look like?
I think naturally, obviously, he's a really, really talented receiver. I think naturally he's going to get a lot of targets. We got to utilize him, put him in different positions. I think that stuff will naturally play itself out. I don't think that's much of a hidden thing. But our other guys, I think, will have great opportunities to rise to the occasion. And as those opportunities rise for those guys, it'll allow them to play in some different positions as well. And so CD's ready. He's ready to take whatever he needs. And so we'll certainly utilize it that way.
Just to follow up on that, did you feel like your ball distribution was what you wanted it to be last year? Obviously, an initial target on a play might not be where the play ends up going. But when you look back at the season, what did you think?
There's always little things that you want to improve on, I think, certainly from a ball distribution. I don't think you ever want to throw it in the QB's head. I think by telling him to throw it to a certain guy.
Oh, I hate that poor OC.
Yeah.
He laughed like that's cute. Like he just so G's. You never
He's
want
just
to throw
arrogant.
it. Oh man, you never want to throw it into a QB's head to get it to a particular guy. Man, shut up.
Yeah, he's arrogant. He's a little arrogant turd. He thinks he's so smart, and what he does is he outsmarts himself. But then when they figure him out and they start mixing up coverages, and he don't understand what defense is being thrown at him, he starts nutting up. That's what happens. I'm sorry, that's just the truth. Because you're a smart dude, but you're the nerd, man, that can figure out the algebra equation. But sometimes when you get into a street fight, man, you don't know how to throw a punch, and that's the whole thing. When a defensive coordinator drags you into a tactical street fight, can you win in that environment?
Ooh,
and
say
that's
that
the
again.
difference
Hold on.
between
Wait.
defensive.
Please say that again, slower, dog. That was just like porn.
Man, well, look, when a defensive coordinator drags you into a tactical football street fight, can you throw a punch? And that's what happened to us in the playoffs versus San Francisco. You got thrown into a tactical street fight, and you were unable to pull the trigger or let your hands go. Let your hands go, boy, and that's the difference between him and Mike McCarthy in terms of how Mike McCarthy approaches it with play action pass, being able to line up, shift, motion, overload, run the football when he needs to, and take advantage of matchups. That's the key difference.
The OC.
Man. There's no emotions, no friends, no loyalty.
Straight business.
Straight business. Put hashtag straight business in the chat.
Fire! Now I understand why the OC some of y'all favorite. I see why he's y'all favorite no more. I see why the OC y'all new favorite. You got that boy be coming with the metaphors. Ooh, that boy say, if you get caught into a tactical street fight. Let me hit this button one more time for the OC.
The OC.
There's no emotions, no friends, no loyalty.
Straight business.
Straight business. Put hashtag straight business in the chat.
Let's go! OC in the house! Oh man, I just love good commentary, bro. Let me get the clap it up for OC. I'm gonna hit a couple of buttons for the OC, man, real quick, man. Come on, man. I'm gonna hit that boy with the Rick Ross and everything. Let me get that boy to Rick Ross. Let me hit him. And we gonna hit him with another one. And we gonna say run it up.
Run it up.
And we gonna say that boy be speaking his mind. He with the shit.
Bring it real back. He be speaking his mind. That boy with the shit.
And I'm gonna hit him with the bruh. And the finish him. And the man. Good job. Woo! All right, here we go.
I think by telling him to throw it to a certain guy, I think naturally the way you structure it, give certain guys targets, certain guys opportunities based off being the primary receiver or maybe a secondary receiver. And so that's something you learn, you grow with, and certainly this year I think we're in a really good place for that.
Get your system self out of here. And
that sounds similar to the interview. We said, you learn, you grow. What about running the ball? You learn, you grow. It's just a little snob, man. It's snobbish. I just don't like the snobbish vibe. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's very snobbish. It's very corporate-y. And I can see that's likely how he sold it to the Joneses.
Right.
You don't want to, you don't want to get caught up trying to force it to a number one. Like, who needs those? Like, who is Amari? Like,
this offense is just fantastic because Kellen.
Yeah.
I'm Kellen. My offense is good. I'm smart like Kellen.
Amari, who needs him? You never want to get caught up trying to force it to. Man, shut up, man. You needed Amari and you was foolish, dog.
Facts.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's somebody say show him the dog. Do I still got that dog? Let me see if I should have that dog still up in here. Man, listen, man, when the season ended, I got rid of that dog, bro. I'm sorry. I canceled the dog. I might bring him back, but that dog was real. Oh, how Mike McCarthy. See, everybody thought we was being mean, though, see?
Yeah.
They was, because when I was like, get this disobedient dog off my team, they was like, dang, boss. I'm like, you see now, don't you? Don't you see now? Don't you see now? You was mad at the wrong person. Y'all was having Kellen back, and y'all was mad at me. And I was the one telling you the whole time. That's why he fired. Oh, hold on real quick. We got us a super chat. He said, what you said, OC, this is the NFL, not PlayStation. Amen. Hey, real quick, man. Let's real quick, man. Listen, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I don't want to get into the gossip. I'm just being honest. I don't want to get into the gossip. I just want to go behind us. Let me just give y'all the answer. They lying, okay? And let me just give you the background. If you really want to know, if you just really want to know, I'm gonna tell you the video to watch. It's gonna catch you all the way up on all the details of what happened. I'm gonna play just a little bit of it, but this video right here was when I realized exactly what was going on. Okay? Alright? This video was when I figured it out. I'm gonna play just a little bit, but I'm not gonna deal with this gossip, y'all. I'm sick of it. I'm ready to move forward. Here we go. Just listen.
I think it's more of a system deal. It wasn't a thing where we just said, hey, we're not going to target Amari as much.
Is that the right system?
Just listen, just a little bit. All right, yeah. So y'all already know. Welcome to Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matter. I actually touched on a little bit of this yesterday. Obviously, this deserves a part 2 because we dealt with yesterday. What he said specifically is it's too early for that. But now we go get into his system comment and break him all the way down, because it's now finally come full circle. I think I see this all the way clear. I have a very clear view on what's going on right now with the Dallas Cowboys. And I was looking at this a little bit wrong. As y'all know, I've done a lot of content on this topic. I started with basically Kellen Moore's falling for the same ego trap that hurt his mentor Scott Linehan. And then I also talked about the power dilemma that happened when Kellen Moore was put in place to be the OC with Mike McCarthy, where it took Mike McCarthy's voice. I also obviously talked about Cooper Kupp exposed Kellen Moore, where his system, remember that he talked about himself, that his system doesn't try to target a number one or a primary weapon. And I was getting it wrong. I'm gonna be all the way honest, I was getting it wrong. I was the whole time thinking that it was organically coming from Kellen Moore. It's actually not. I figured it out finally yesterday. I'm sorry it took me so long. But this whole system thing is being pushed down, likely from Stephen Jones himself. When you look at all the tea leaves, it adds up perfectly to it being him. So hold on real quick. I'm not gonna go through that whole video. I'm just not gonna do that. All right. It's just, I ain't gonna do y'all like that. But this is the deal. I go in depth on that video how it was Stephen Jones pushing it down. See, then when you understand that, it makes you understand why they gave him a golden parachute out. Think about it. Why did they make sure he had a job before they fired him?
Yep.
Can I? It's gonna sound bad when I say it this way, OC, but I think you go feel me.
Yep.
Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones was low key sugar daddies.
Yep.
They was some sugar daddies. So when you have, I don't have a little mama. I ain't no sugar mama. I ain't no trick like that. But I already understand how it works. When you paying for it, they go do it how you want it and when you want it. And when you are a sugar daddy, you will take care of them on the way out. Because in my metaphor, that whore did everything you wanted the way you wanted. So you made sure as a sugar daddy that he was taken care of. Because he taking all the bullets. Kellen Moore taking all the bullets right now for the vision that you want.
I'm going to do you one better.
Okay, please.
Really? And this goes back to an old Bible story in Genesis, all right? They really labeled Coach Mike McCarthy. They labeled him. See, Coach Mike McCarthy was working all these years trying to get a exclusive job, and finally he gets the exclusive premier job. He did all this work, and so in the story, this old Bible story. In the story, Jacob worked for Laban, and he worked for the daughter he wanted, which was Rachel. And he had to work 7 years for the right to marry this man's daughter. So he put in all this work. Well, on the wedding night, they got him drunk. And then he shoved his oldest daughter in there named Leah. Now, Leah was tender-eyed. Tender-eyed don't mean she was cute. Tender-eyed means that she was cross-eyed. I mean, that girl's ugly. And so what happened to Coach Mike McCarthy is that on the night he was going to sign this contract, on the night, they shoved in, well, we're going to give you this money. We're going to give you this big money, $25 million. But you got to take Kellen. Well, wait a minute. I already had an offensive coordinator picked out. I already had my guys that I want to bring in. Yeah, I know, but you got to take it. They shoved Kellen into the tent and forced Coach Mike McCarthy to take Kellen. That's what happened.
That's what happened, bro. And see, he did dirty work, bro. This is why. This is the sad part. Kellen Moore might be a good OC.
We'll see soon.
He might. Now, hear me out. Because he was likely doing the bidding of Stephen Jones. You see what I'm saying? So when Stephen Jones wants you to under-target Amari, who ran that play? Kellen. So when we saw Zeke rolling versus Tampa in the first half, averaging 6 a pop, why did it just stop?
Hey, you gotta stop giving him so many carries. We gotta try to release him. What are you doing there? Man already got 58 yards, man. It's only the first quarter, man. I mean, you tone down the carries. Well, the second half, he only got like 2 or 3 carries.
Kellen was doing
the hot hand. When he was the hot hand.
Right.
Why?
He was hot.
Hot hand. And he's been hot in several games, by the way, where they just
stop. They
take him on the sideline. They just cool him off. Just go ahead over. Get your hamstrings tight, Zeke. Just sit down for about 20 minutes. Get your hamstrings tight. Let your feet start getting stiff. Then we gonna put you back in the game. We're gonna give you 1 carry on a 3rd and short, and then take you out when we get first down, so that you get tight again. What are you doing?
Right.
Let the guy get into a rhythm.
Right. And see, listen. What Cole Beasley say? See, now when you talk about the history, what Cole Beasley say? He said front office dictate who gets the ball. You remember that? So listen, y'all. The sad part is the OC and I are saying it's actually better for Kellen that he got out of Dallas. Because now he gonna be able to evolve without front office influence. So if it makes sense for him to run the ball and not try to force a no identity offense, they gonna do whatever makes sense over at the Chargers. But if he's still stubborn to his system, he gonna be out of coaching in a year. He ain't gonna be coaching no more. In 1 year, he gonna be fired. You know what I'm saying? But he really could get better just because he's out of the meddling hands of his sugar daddy. And this is why I gotta commend the OC. And this is why y'all gotta clap it up for the OC. Real talk. The OC says something. You probably forgot you said this, OC. But the OC says something in the offseason that stuck with me. He said Kellen Moore is a Trojan horse. And when you look at all the damage that was done under that Trojan horse, if Kellen Moore has some nuts like Mike McCarthy, he would have had the back of Amari. But because he was a yes man and a sycophant, a kiss butt, a yes sir, how you want it, with a whore mentality, willing to sell it, you sold 2 contention teams, dog. You sold 2 contention teams. Try and go ahead, OC.
No, and I'm gonna say something too that, in addition to what you said, I don't think that it's fully the meddling of Stephen Jones. I'll tell you why. Because early this season, they said run the ball more.
True.
Earlier this season, Mike McCarthy said we got to stick with these guys, right? So I don't care if it's pitching.
That's true. That's true.
Hand it off, toss it.
I gotta back up. I gotta back up.
Some of this
was Kellen.
Is a male ego thing, and it's stubbornness. No, I got this. No,
I got a better metaphor now. I got a better metaphor. I got a better one. Stephen Jones was a beta that sparred, and he made a 6 feel like they was a 10. That's what happened. He overinflated the ego of Kellen Moore to the point he couldn't even tame that snake. He couldn't even tame it. Cause you're right, OC. You're right.
He got resistant. He was resistant to feedback, and even 2. You know what this is? 2. That's called a warning shot. 2. Shoot the ball. Shoot your gun up in there. It's a warning shot. I mean, it's a loaded gun here. We could get you, but I don't want to shoot you. I'm letting you know I'm packing. Warning shot. And he didn't respond the way he should have responded to all those warning shots.
Facts.
He didn't.
It's facts. That's facts. Hey, y'all, real quick. Them likes are much better. Y'all got us up to 265. But you know what I'm realizing, OC? We always gonna have about 100 people lurking. That's what I'm starting to realize. 100 of y'all just ain't gonna never like it. Cause this the 3rd time I'm asking. This should easily be up to 300 likes minimum. We had 265 with literally close to 400 people watching. Come on, bro. The last of you lurkers, can y'all go ahead and hit that like, dog? Come on now. Yeah, come on now. That's crazy, bro. Come on, man. Y'all been in here that long. Just hit the like, bro. That's simple, bro. Even if you don't like the OC. Even if you don't like me, bro. Even if you don't like me, bro. You don't like the OC, you don't like me, bro. You been in here that long, bro. And then once I said that, 4 people instantly left the stream. Yeah, because they was lurkers. The moment I said it's some people out here lurking, 4 people just left. Yeah.
They got scared. They got scared. We go ID you. We go ID you.
Lurkers. So we go also say, with this many people watching, it's a lot of y'all have never subscribed. Please. It's a lot of y'all. It's a lot of y'all have never subscribed. It's crazy, but it's a lot of y'all that have never. Swain say them hoes peeled out. Swain a nut, but listen, it's a lot of y'all that ain't never subscribed, bro. Hit that subscribe because we gonna continue to give. Oh, if we got some news, we might as well drop it right now. We got a fresh new show starting tomorrow. You want to tell them about it, OC?
Yeah, man. So look, this will be the draft series, man. You exclusively found, man, on Boss Cowboy Sports, man. We partner with several other dynamic podcasters to give you guys a draft show, right? And potential free agency and all the off-season goodies that you gonna want to hear. We doing it once a week. We starting tomorrow. Don't miss it. If you want to know the latest draft capital, the potential players, picks, highlights, breakdowns, analysis, then man, just hit the subscribe button and you'll see us here tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah, because we got a big old, we already got a lot to talk about with these draft candidates. We already got a lot of film to show on these draft candidates, and we already very much ready. I'm still trying to determine if I'm gonna write a book or not. More than likely, I'm leaning on content being more video, because I'm gonna be honest, most people don't read. You know what I mean? So most people watch videos now. So it's like, should I go through all that work when I could just make a video, right? And the video is going to show more than my book would ever do, right? So y'all let me know if y'all want me to write another book this year. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know if y'all want me to write another book, because I've been writing one every year. You know what I'm saying? But if y'all really want another book, I'll put out another book, because I've already finished most of all my research. So y'all let me know. But anyway, man, OC, go ahead and close us out, big dog.
Yeah, man. So look, appreciate everybody that gave money in Super Chat. Listen, also everybody that has supported us on the Cash App, $ Boss Cowboy Sports. Salute to you. Appreciate you guys. That really helps out so much. Listen, follow Boss Cowboy Sports if you have not already on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can actually follow me, the OC100, on Twitter. All right, if you want to, smash the like button, turn on your bell notification icons for the latest and greatest in Cowboy sports and news. And until next time, guys, we'll see you.
We'll see you, man. My boy M said he purchased the book. He said running back. I need more votes than that, but man, I appreciate that. Y'all stay up, man. We gonna be back tomorrow, man, with draft content. You already know.
Another one.
Boss Cowboy Sports.
Bring real back. He be speaking his mind. That boy with the shit.
Run it up.
Let's go. Ain't no switching up still.
If we locked in, ain't no switching up.
Yeah, no switching up, babies.
Another one.
Let's fight. We still ain't quit. No days off. Let's go.
Another one. Bring real back. He be speaking his mind. That boy with the shit.
I need the cash pronto. I don't throw interception like Romo.
Boss Cowboy Sports.
I see y'all want that book. Well, I see. I need more votes, but I'll work on the book.
Run it up.
Let's go.